You have hip pain, walking is difficult for you, sitting is difficult, and you feel this annoying hip hurts constantly. It is important to understand why this happens, because then you are motivated to do something about it. I am Roland Liebscher-Bracht, and I will now show you the exercises you can do. Not only will the pain decrease, but there is a good chance that the bursitis will subside, the osteoarthritis will reverse and regenerate, and all of that will happen. Now I want you to understand first what it's all about. Look, this is the hip joint. It has a large ball, a large joint ball, an equally large socket, and free mobility in all directions. Only the movement backwards is a bit restricted by ligaments. Now you have to imagine back there are the very thick, large gluteal muscles. From the front comes the hip flexor, also a very, very strong muscle. Then the adductors, which pull the leg in, make up the entire inner thigh. They are so powerful. And here on the outside again, muscles that stabilize. And when all these muscles shorten more and more, why do they shorten? Because they are not moved in every angle possible. You always have to consider that the muscles in the back can only maintain their length if the leg is brought as far forward as possible. And likewise, the muscles inside can only remain flexible if the leg is brought outwards again. And if all these movements are missing, which are hardly done in everyday life, we sit, we stand, we lie down, and what else happens? Not much else. And as this continues to shorten more and more, the tension increases, the joint ball is pulled into the socket. There is arthritis, the bursae is maltreated and produces fluid, which causes inflammation. And all this happens only because of the lack of movement and excessive tension. And now we will solve this. René will show you the exercises and I will explain them to you. René, and there he is. Nice that you are here.
Hi, Roland. Hello, friends.
And we start with the first exercise because what's it all about? We want to free up the front, free up the inside, free up the outside, and free up the back. And for that, we need to do these exercises. We start at the front. René, please stand shoulder width apart, and now please take half a step back with your right foot.
Yes.
And place your right hand on your right buttock so that you have control and can feel how it moves, and now pull in your navel. Try to act as if you could pull it in. Okay, a little fun is necessary. And now you practically push your right groin forward by pressing your buttock forward. Yes. And pull in your navel, pull it in so that you overextend the groin. Now you should start pulling at the groin on the inside.
On the thigh here.
Exactly. And now René is feeling pain in his right hip flexor. And now you simply increase it for 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, more and more. You keep the pain in your groin at a level that is still tolerable. That means I don't have to tense up against it, so it remains somewhat enjoyable. It must still be fun. Are you still having fun?
Yes, well, yes.
Just so.
I have done more enjoyable things to be truth.
Good, good. But you know what it means. Okay, we do the same on the other side. Straighten up again, because now we have the hip flexor, which runs inward on one side and then on the other side as well. We have only stretched it on the right side so far. Now we stretch the left side. That means half a step back with the left foot. Pull in your buttocks. But then first, before you go back, the belly button goes in.
Why is this so important?
It's important because if you don't pull in your navel, you usually bend more above the pelvis. But your hip doesn't benefit from that. You must bend your hip backwards, so hyperextend it. So, pull in your navel first, then move backwards, and you'll immediately feel the stretch in your left groin. Okay? Pull your belly button in even more, just pull your stomach in, then you'll notice it pulls even more directly. So go a little higher and pull it in. Beware your face is already too strained.
I am tortured, yes.
I see that. Yes, tortured is good, but a smile must be possible. Smile at me.
It's not working, Roland.
Then it is too much. Very good that you noticed this, René. That was too much. Now just go in as far as you can while being able to smile. Do not artificially grin, smile genuinely. Heartily smile. That's still possible. That is exactly the dose that is right. And then slowly out again. In the next exercise, we will do it with both sides at the same time. That means stand in front of a wall about half a step away. Take both hands slightly above the shoulder against the wall. And now pull in your belly button again. Belly button, no, that's exactly the opposite. Get out of the lordosis by pulling in your belly button. Stop. Arch your back out by pulling in your belly button.
How is that supposed to work? Lordosis.
Yes, like this. Now you have it.
Ah, okay.
Usually when the navel is pulled in, the body reacts directly by straightening the hip. And we need this so that the hip can be well hyperextended without being hyperextended in the back. Again, pull in your navel. And now push the groins forward and pull the belly button back. You are moving your torso instead of the navel.
That's also a tough concentration exercise.
But it is worth practicing concentration. And now you should be able to trigger that on both sides. But be careful. The way you are looking is already too strenuous. It must be a little less. Just like that, always smiling. Smile at me, even if it's a pained one. Yes, perfect. Okay? Wonderful. And now you should, tell me yourself, feel the same stretch that you previously only felt on one side. Now on both sides. Exactly. So that means it is a bit time-saving but more exhausting because you have to target both sides with full concentration. And I have to stay for 2 minutes, 2 to 2.5 minutes. And not just hang in, but always intensify the stretch. And increase it in such a way that one can just about bear it well. Okay? And slowly come back out. Loosen up, move around a bit. By the way, before we continue now, check out our channel. There you will find even more videos on a wide variety of topics. For the next exercise, please go to the floor, preferably on a mat. Renee, please get down onto the crawling position, okay? And first we must learn how to control the hips and pelvis. Round your back.
Round, yes.
And then go into the opposite, hollow back and round again. And it remains round. Move your hands a little further forward, pull in your belly button, come forward, and let the pelvis continue to sag, but keep the pelvis in this position. No, don't give up. Pull in your navel, yes, and move with it pulled in. Now you've got it.
Oh, yes.
Now you have it.
Oh, yes.
Groin forward, navel back, groin forward. This is not easy at all, but learning this movement, this routine alone, is extremely valuable for your back and hip health. Yes, but now you are arching your back again. Don't do it. Bring the hips forward. No, arms remain stretched. Only the groins forward. Pull in the abdomen, pull in the abdomen.
I can't pull in anymore, Roland.
As far as possible, and let yourself go further down. There must be a pulling sensation in the groin.
It also pulls in the abdomen and in the groin?
Okay, then the abdomen is also too short. That is often still a side effect, but it is good to train that out. Arms remain fully extended. You keep sinking further down. Yes, keep going down with the groins. Hold here at the top, exactly, and sink down. Also increase the stretch for 2 to 2.5 minutes and slowly come out again, because if you are not used to it, you cannot hold it for so long, okay? And now the same, but we'll make a slight change. Again, round it back in the same way. Keep it round and let the groins sink down again. No, the arms stay straight, only the groins. Arms completely straight, arms remain completely straight.
I no longer have a rounded back.
Yes, but as round as possible and lower yourself down. It's already much better, but keep your arms straight. And now, when you are at the lowest point, you bring your right knee out and bring your foot to the inside of your left knee. Yes, and now you notice, Renee, it pulls differently, right?
Yes, but that is also okay.
Yes, of course, and it's also necessary because this is another part of the hip flexor that we need to work on, as this is where all the hip pain originates from the front side, right? Also 2 to 2.5 minutes, and the same on the other side. Then you do the leg, the right one straight again. Simply put the other one out, yes, and always with the foot on the other knee, exactly, and let yourself hang like that, and the arms are fully extended.
I have to make sure that I'm not somehow crooked, right?
Yes, but don't focus on that now. Just keep this area straight, align yourself with the front edge of the mat, then everything is fine. Okay, this is the other position. The next exercise we are going to do now, you start in the quadruped position, but then you go to the side. Renee, please support yourself on the left side, yes, and now move the leg a little forward, the right one, and place the knee directly on the ground. Turn straight here. Now this line is parallel to the front edge of the mat, and here the hip is half angled. When you do this, it stretches a bit differently, more over the front of the hip, not as much as with the other exercise. So another line which is now practically being stretched there, and you do that just like this, 2.5 minutes, and on the other side. To do this, simply turn around, stay calm, and just roll over to the other side. Yes, then the audience can see you from behind practically.
Oh, that is good.
Yes, right here diagonally, exactly, and you will probably feel a similar sensation on the other side. Although I have to say that it's easier here, I could go even further down now. But you can see that this is often the case. Also pay attention to this at home, because in the moment when it pulls unevenly, it is often related to the fact that shortenings are also uneven. And one would have to work more often and more intensively on the side where it pulls more, and on the side where it pulls less, so that it balances out again.
Does that mean I have trained incorrectly?
No, that simply means you have lived the way you have lived. We don't care at all. Yes, I intentionally say it like this now, because you may know the instructions. Only move like this. Get up by turning onto your side. Stand up only if you're carrying something. Keep your back straight, and go down primarily using your legs. We don't believe in such movement rules because all movements are good, just perhaps unfamiliar. That's why we're getting the body fit for all movements, so you can move however you like.
Two minutes are up.
Okay? Those were all exercises that opened the front. Now we must open the side. Renee, go into the lateral position and maybe move your foot a bit further above. If you can't support yourself on your side, it's a matter of arm strength and shoulder stabilization. In that case, just lie down with your forearm supported on the couch, an armchair or a chair, so you don't have to hold everything up. If you can hold it, it's better. How Renee does it is wonderful. What you have to do now, because many people do not get into the stretch like this. Renee, come a little closer from the side. Now you have to test. If you move your knee there, then the hip rotates. Do you notice? Not down, the knee there, yes. Then the hip rotates, come back with the knee. Now the hip rotates out again. Now try to find the position of the hip where it pulls the most to the side. So not backward, but rather forward.
But I can still do it, but now it's getting tighter.
Yes, but here, I usually think, so for you now at home, when the hip is turned slightly forward, the greatest tension is usually felt, and you might also have to lift yourself more out of the shoulder. So that you lift your hip off the ground, so you're hovering there, which gives you more stretch and creates a space between your hip and the ground.
Can I lift my front foot?
You can lift your front foot a bit. It's okay to not keep it completely on the ground. The only thing that is important is that it pulls in here at the side, to the side of the pelvis, and holds the side of the body. That's where the stretch should be. Of course, you should always do this on both sides, for prevention or if you want to become more flexible at all. Only if you want to work very specifically against a certain pain, it will of course also take a long time on one side. But experience shows that both hips are approximately equally bad, so it can never be wrong to invest the time to do both sides. What we just did, lying on the ground, might be a bit challenging for some. We are doing this now standing up. It is much easier standing up. Renee, stand shoulder width apart and now step with your right foot behind your left foot to the left. Yes. Stay exactly still. Straight legs, straight legs. And now take your right arm up, bend it a little, push your pelvis to the right and your torso to the left. You can pull nicely with your arm here, and then you will feel the same stretch on the side. If you notice that the stretch is not fully there yet, then rotate your pelvis a bit and see in which angle of rotation you feel the most tension here on the side. Yes, but that's good.
It cracks and pops throughout my whole body. Roland.
That is wonderful. We always say as long as it cracks, it's okay. Because cracking means that something is still moving. If it doesn't crack at all, it can be very, very good or very, very bad. Cracking is always the limit. That's something you can work on. And we do the same on the other side, always for 2 to 2.5 minutes, and then increase the intensity during this time. Renee is doing it now without holding on. But if you're unsure while standing, you can place a chair, stand in front of a cabinet, or in front of a windowsill to stabilize yourself with your hands or one hand, leaving the other hand free to help you pull over. Now we do the same on the other side. Take your left foot to the right, left arm up, but bend it like this. Now you can pull axially here, and you'll feel you've got real power in it. Stretching power. Ah, that really gets into the nitty-gritty, the exercise, right? Yes, it's also not so easy, but as always, practice is missing. Yes, if you do it a few times, it will work better every time. And now release the stretch in this area. Roland, even here at the top, it feels tight up to here. Yes, that is also wonderful, isn't it? Although it has nothing to do with the hip, it rather has to do with back problems. What has to do with the hip, that is the tension that occurs here on the side of the pelvis. Now let's continue with the tension from behind. We have now cleared the front, cleared the side, now we are clearing the back. And there is an ultimate exercise, so to speak, on the chair. Please put your right leg over the left one. No, not as if you wanted to rest comfortably, but as if you wanted to work and do an exercise. Slide a little further forward, yes, so there is a little more space. And now you place your right elbow on your knee, press your knee down here and straighten your back, pull in your belly button and come forward with your belly button. Only with the navel forward, and tell me where you feel the pull now.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. Be a bit more precise.
Hip above buttocks.
Buttocks, exactly, that's where we want to go.
Buttocks is the back.
No, buttocks.
The buttocks are behind, so...
And the buttocks, whatever. Yes, we want to address those tensions that tighten everything up from behind endlessly, causing your hip to suffer and hurt. And the bursae especially, yes. Also increase again to 2 to 2.5 minutes, always staying at this limit that you can still endure well and experiencing the same on the other side. I didn't want to let you walk home unbalanced.
It's not getting better, I'm telling you.
Okay. Back straight, aim for the belly button, and only the belly button wants to move forward now. And then you notice it goes straight back into the hip.
Can I pull a little on my other one?
You can pull there, but be careful, because when you pull, your trunk may bend. And every time the torso bends, it's loosest stretching movement. The torso must remain straight, and only the belly button wants to move forward. Yes, you are bending here again. Yes, only the navel. And then you notice the strength goes directly to the buttocks, and that really liberates the whole area. You will almost float afterwards. And now we have something very special for you, namely an exercise similar to the one on the chair, but for both sides at the same time, and with slightly different fibers being targeted. Please slide a little further forward, a little more. Okay, and now put your right leg, your right lower leg under your left knee. Yes, indeed. Align the lower leg so that it is parallel to the mat in front. And now lift yourself to the right so that you achieve a 90-degree angle in the knee. Lift yourself to the right, yes.
Yes, okay.
Yes, indeed. Good. It must be 90 degrees to the right.
Awesome.
And now put your left leg out to the side behind.
Oh shit.
Now come. Yes, but go really far back. Go back properly and then you will see you are incredibly clumsy. Rene is actually quite flexible in certain parts of his body, but here it is completely stiff. Here is the hip flexor. It should normally complain. It's complaining. It is complaining. It should come much, much further around here. It's not coming yet, but if you do it regularly, which you should start doing today, Rene, it will keep getting better. So, stay more upright.
Oh God.
And what you have to do now, you have to try harder to get the left hip bone towards the right heel bone.
What is the hip spur?
Here, the hip bone. The nerve must go over there. Is it too much, huh?
That is too much, yes.
Yes, then go back out so it's not too much. So it's working again? Yes. Okay. And here you actually have to sit down below.
Oh, I see. Oh, yes.
Yes, so you already notice Rene is not really stretched there, but it may be that you are in the same situation or even worse. But don't worry, that's not what it's about. We are not having a stretching competition. The goal is to push further into the point where it feels tight. And the more you bring in, the more the pain and your bursitis melt. Yes, because that is the cause of it. And you probably already suspected, of course, we also do that on the other side. Rene suffers for you, okay? Also, get back to a right angle and extend the other leg as far back as possible. What I did not mention while we were working on the other side, you should try to give a loud sound if it is too strenuous for you to turn the leg in such a way that the ankle rests on the foot. Because it essentially brings your pelvis forward in that direction, but you can already feel that you're missing a lot there. So Rene, like you may be at home, has to do this exercise very, very often because then the hip will be properly freed. This is the hip release exercise. And in the next exercise, Rene does not sit on the chair as he wanted to do, but please stand behind the chair.
Oh no, this is also a terrible one.
Stand behind the chair and now pull in your belly button. Keep your hips straight. It's crucial during the first part of the exercise. And now you continue to move further apart with small steps. Exactly. But do not move forward. Instead, keep the hips straight. Stay completely straight and always move further apart. Exactly. This is the exercise. You're staying with your hips, but you're arching your back too much again. Try to pull in your belly button, then you will notice that it pulls in more. So only go as far down as you can tolerate, with your stomach pulled in, and beware with the hollow back. Because we need it in terms of stress. Increase for 2 to 2.5 minutes, and then slowly decrease. Exactly. Adjust again. Exactly. Adjust again. And then we do the same. Maybe stay in this position for a while. The same thing, but this time with a 90-degree bent hip joint. That means leaning on it like this and now spreading wide apart again. And you notice it feels different.
What is the difference?
The difference is that in the just mentioned case, the hip flexor, which is so short that it is practically already stretched there, is often involved. But the hip flexor is now outside. Now we are only focusing on the adductors, so only on the inner side. So the exercise of standing straight with legs apart is for the hip flexors and adductors, depending on which is tight. And that is only for the adductors, and that was the inside. Now we have cleared all 4 directions. And if you do this regularly with the exercises that suit you best, where you get along best, you will be amazed at what happens to your hip. Do you have anything else to add?
I would say I still have a lot to do. I think the same way as you do. Thank you, Roland. See you soon.
These exercises can create tremendous positive changes in your hip. But what is the most important thing in these exercises? The regularity and doing it over and over again to get into a routine. And I would like to invite you, as far as the routine is concerned, as far as motivating is concerned. Check out our channel, where we post new videos several times a week on a wide variety of topics. Try this out. I believe you will be excited. Click here and then just do it, because it's not about talking, about explaining. It's about doing and executing and noticing what happens. Have fun with it.